Okay, my name is Lisa Bellotti, and I'm in business development for AboutXtreme. I will be doing the first part of the presentation today, and then I will hand it off to my partner, Tammy. She'll come in a little while. So let's get started. The idea of end of support is simple. When Microsoft released Windows Server and SQL Server 2008 R2, they provided 5 years of full support that has everything, new features, and all updates. The second 5 years of support continues with updates only. When end of support kicks in, that means the end of security updates, which can cause security and compliance issues and put applications and business at risk. For example, computer viruses or malicious phishing expeditions. We recommend upgrading to current versions for the most advanced security, performance, and innovation. To help customers that can't get it all upgraded by the deadline, there are new options to help you protect applications and data during the upgrade transition. Security is a top priority for IT teams. New threats have made it harder than ever for IT to secure data and applications. Windows Server 2016 gives you new capabilities to help prevent attacks and detect suspicious activity with features to control privileged access, help protect virtual machines, and harden the platform against emerging threats. These numbers are pretty staggering. 4.2 billion records stolen by hackers in 2016. Organizations lose 20% of their customers during an attack. And to make it worse, organizations can lose 30% of their revenue during an attack. In May 2018, a European privacy law, the General Data Protection Regulation, also known as the GDPR, took effect. The GDPR imposes new rules on companies, government agencies, nonprofits, and other organizations that offer goods and services to people in the European Union, or that collect and analyze data tied to European Union residents. In other words, the GDPR applies no matter where you're located. We've all seen the pop-ups asking for our permission. Microsoft has extensive expertise in protecting data, championing privacy, and complying with complex regulations, and currently complies with both EU US Privacy Shield and EU model clauses. They believe, and we at AboutXtreme agree, that the GDPR is an important step forward for clarifying and enabling individual privacy rights. We want to help you focus on your core business while efficiently preparing for the GDPR. Of course, the US has plenty of their own compliance standards that we need to keep secure, such as HIPAA for medical patient privacy or Sarbanes-Oxley Act for financial controls. Two papers from Keystone Research have explored the operating impact of digital transformation and give you multiple reasons why your digital transformation should start today. They found that leading companies have outperformed competitors with higher revenue and operating margins. They say, our empirical observations show that digitally transformed organizations, otherwise known as digital leaders, perform much better than organizations that lag behind, also known as digital laggards. Microsoft is all about innovation. So now we're going to take a look at where they're headed. Organizations need options, and Microsoft loves to provide them. Each is worth exploring, and you may use multiple options to move workloads from SQL Server and Windows Server 2008. So to start, you can choose to move to Azure to rehost, or to refactor, re-architect, or rebuild your workload app. The other option is to upgrade on premises to the latest versions of Windows Server. So let's break those down. You can rehost, meaning lift and shift your workloads from on-prem to Azure. The benefit is that you gain time to determine how you want to configure your workloads to the new Azure environment, and Microsoft will give you 3 additional years of extended security updates at no additional charge above standard VM prices. The other option is to migrate your data to Azure Managed Instances, or VMs, and you get a version-free option of Azure SQL Database, Managed Instances, along with 3 more years of extended security updates for SQL Server 2008, 2008 R2 at no additional charge. Finally, if you choose to upgrade on-premises to Windows Server 2016 or 2019 and SQL Server 2017, you can leverage the security updates you need. We'll touch more on this later. If you must stay on Windows Server 2008, you have the option to buy extended security updates and get 3 more years of added security for Windows Server and SQL Server 2008, 2008 R2 and then you can upgrade when you're ready. Like I said earlier, Microsoft is all about innovation. Just looking at this chart, you can see that the evolution of Windows Server has come a long way. Back in 2008, when they started virtualization with Hyper-V, all the way to today with all of the innovations leading up to today with Windows Server 2019. The most important feature being the Azure integration. The evolution of SQL Server is equally as impressive, starting with the modern database platform in 2000 to where SQL Server 2017 is today, that enables end-to-end mobile BI and easy migration to the cloud. So now, what's the story behind Azure SQL Database? Why is it so much better? First of all, you no longer need to update your database to infrastructure as a service. You get out of managing upgrades forever. It scales on the fly, scale performance anytime, anywhere, without app downtime. When demand for your app grows from a handful of devices and customers to millions, SQL Database Service will scale along with you. Business continuity. It easily manages and monitors your business critical functions. Your mission critical applications are core to your business, and their uptime and performance are critical to successfully deploying them to Azure. Azure SQL Database has all the critical features to ensure business continuity built in and deployed in seconds. It learns and adapts dynamically with your app. As your app runs, Azure SQL Database continuously learns your unique app patterns, adaptively tunes your performance, and automatically improves reliability and data protection, freeing you to focus on your app. Work within your preferred development environments. Microsoft Azure SQL Database makes it easy to connect to SQL Database with a variety of technologies, enabling you to focus on developing business logic and apps using tools you're familiar with. It helps protect and secure your app data. Build security-enhanced apps in the cloud with built-in data protection, high availability, and security features without implementing custom code. With physical and operational security built into Azure, SQL Database can help you meet the most stringent regulatory compliances. Recover from disaster. Reduce the impact of a disaster on your business with automated backups and active geo-replication in up to 4 secondary readable locations. You can be sure that your data is safe. Using failover groups ensures that during an outage in one location, a secondary location can automatically take over and ensure minimum outage time. As technology evolves, there are many triggers to look out for that provide insight on the need to modernize your environment. Some of these include outsourced data center contract expirations, integrating acquisitions, urgent capacity needs and changes, software and hardware refresh, of course, end of support, and of course, security threats. So now to get some more details on end of support, I'm going to hand it over to my partner, Tammy.
Thanks, Lisa. So Microsoft has announced new options to keep workloads protected if you can't get all of the upgrades done in time for the deadline. The first option that Microsoft is providing is to shift your workloads to Azure VM running Windows Server 2008 and 2008 R2. This will provide you with 3 years of free extended security updates even after the deadline. You can opt for this option even if you don't have software assurance. Another good option, and the recommended one, is to migrate your SQL database to Azure SQL Database Managed Instance. This will provide you with a version-free option that will make this your last end-of-support transition. Microsoft is also providing Azure hybrid benefits for customers who have software assurance. They can utilize their on-premise licenses on Azure virtual machines, and that provides a cost savings of about 55%. If you choose to upgrade on-premise and not in the cloud, you can upgrade your existing workloads to the latest versions of Windows Server and SQL Server, for example, Windows Server 2019 and Windows SQL Server 2017. If that is not possible and you want to stay protected with Windows Server 2008 R2 and Windows SQL Server 2008 R2, you can buy the extended security update separately. To get this option, software assurance is required, and you can plan your upgrade in the next 3 years. Let's discuss Microsoft's hybrid benefits. If you have software assurance for SQL servers and Windows servers, Microsoft provides license mobilities to use the same licenses for Azure virtual machines and fully managed SQL database instances. Here are a few scenarios of how you can leverage Azure hybrid benefits. The first scenario is Windows Server. If you have an active SA for Windows Server, you can use Azure hybrid benefits to pay for virtual machines at a reduced rate. You can increase the savings by opting to purchase the SQL Server software assurance as well. The second scenario is SQL Server on Azure virtual machines. If you don't have SA for Windows Server, but you do have an active one for SQL Server, you can use Azure hybrid benefits to pay for Azure SQL Server virtual machines, again at a reduced rate. You can increase the savings by opting to purchase Windows Server software assurance as well. The final scenario is Azure SQL database. If you have an active SQL Server software assurance, Microsoft is providing this other option, and that is to migrate your workloads to a fully managed Azure SQL database instance. This option, like the ones described before, will also provide considerable cost savings for you, the customer. These options are graphically explained in the next slide. So looking at this next slide, it explains a few different scenarios of how you can leverage with Azure hybrid benefits. Microsoft provides license mobility option as part of the software assurance, which means that you can use this on-premise license on your virtual machines in Azure. It removes the cost of licenses out of the equation and provides a huge cost savings to you. If you have software assurance from Microsoft SQL servers, you can enjoy a cost savings of about 75%. This is by using the licenses that you already own in Azure. The savings are more pronounced if you have software assurance for Microsoft Windows Server. By combining the Azure hybrid benefits for both the Microsoft SQL Server and the Microsoft Windows Server, you can enjoy a cost savings of about 85%. If you don't have the software assurance for Microsoft Windows Server, you can buy that from Microsoft to get the servers covered. This will further increase the savings to you. Here we can see how a customer having a software assurance for Microsoft SQL Server can leverage the Azure hybrid benefits to save costs. Azure hybrid benefits provide you a cost savings of around 55% as the licensing cost is removed from the equation and you have to pay for the Azure SQL database instance only. I'm now going to turn this back over to my colleague Lisa, who will wrap things up for us.
Okay. Now that you've heard the whole end of support story, are you ready to get started? There are so many advantages to getting started that include security and cost savings, just to name a few. The first thing is the assessment. We help you understand your workloads and create a roadmap for you. Second, the migration. We help you make the move, the actual move. And then finally, optimization. Once you've migrated, we make sure you're realizing all of your benefits. AboutXtreme is a Microsoft Gold certified partner. We have many happy customers in the state and local government, education, and commercial areas. So we'd love to help you get started. Please contact us at the information below, and we can schedule a free strategy call to see if making the end of support move is right for you. Hope all is well, and have a great rest of your day.